Alright, my day's just gone to shit. Working on brakes today. 2018 Yamaha Grizzly 700. Got the wheel off. I'm going to do brakes on all four wheels. They need it. About 1,500 miles on this machine. And those, as you can see, are beyond gone. And 17 millimeter socket for the lug wrench, 12 millimeter to get this off of here, and then we can push those pistons in and get those pads apart. Alright, YouTube, I've been a bad ATV dad. That brake pad is so far gone. You can see how thick that used to be, and I had to pry that out of the piston. Way beyond gone. And even this guy, you can see that ridge there. So far gone. He hasn't had a pad in a hot minute. Fortunately, the rotors look alright. But bad ATV dad here. Good thing I'm doing all the brakes. So what I needed to do to get this off, if you haven't done brakes on this stuff before, is there's a piston, or a slide they call it, that screws in right here. It's this little guy here. Little hex key there, and that is a, find the size of it for you. It is a 5 millimeter. You're never gonna see that. It's a 5 millimeter hex key, and in front of it is this cap. I'm really glad they started doing this. That cap covers that screw hole, and it's just got a slot in it. It's not in there real hard, just snug. So you pull that out, that hex cap is clean in there. You pull that slide out, and that allows what's left of your brake pad to, it kind of goes in there and hooks on one side. It's actually this way. Goes in there, hooks on that side, and then that slide goes through the hole on the right and holds it in place. They kind of float in there. And so you pull this slide out here, take your brake pads out. They should never be as bad as what I've got here. And then the next thing you do is get yourself a C-clamp, like this guy here. And what you can do is you put the C-clamp, see if I can do it here one-handed. You embed the C-clamp inside the hole of the piston there, and then kind of line it up with the back. In some vehicles you'll have two. On an ATV you just have one. And you don't want to put a lot of side force on this, so we're just going to slowly tighten this and I'll straighten it out. It's kind of a hard thing to do. And what you want to do is you want to get this done before you ever consider adding fluid and stuff, because what this is going to do is all the volume that piston is giving up is going to push that fluid back up into that master cylinder, which right now actually demonstrates empty, and for good cause. So if I can get this guy to flip over here so you guys can watch what's going on. One-handed vehicle maintenance. And I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this. What we're trying to see is this piston right here going back in. And you don't want to do it real fast because it is pushing fluid back up, in some cases through some pretty small orifices. Clean out some dirt that's in here. don't know how dirt gets in here. Do you have any ideas, Taylor?
No. Wait, do you actually know?
Alright. I think we are good. Old pads. New pads. Man. I feel silly. So, let's see about getting this on here. Alright, so that piston does basically need to go 100% of the way back. And then when we slap this brake pad in there, what you'll notice is it essentially lines up with these pads. These are what make that screeching sound when you start to run low. So as long as those line up, you've got that piston back there far enough. You want to make sure you don't get any grease on these pads. If you do, there's a product called Brake Clean. It's basically just an acetone that will get rid of any of the lubricants that might be on there. And then this other piece fits in here. This kind of fits on that slide and down in there. And then we've got enough room for the caliper. We'll stick that slide in there and we should be good. Alright, we got her in here kind of a little loosey-goosey. Got the pads in. This is a little clip that kind of keeps some tension on them so they're not flopping around there too much. We've got our caliper bolts, one up here, one down here. And then the torque spec says 22 foot-pounds on those. We've got this guy, the slide, in there hand tight, the way it was before. And we've got this flat plug, essentially, in there also hand tight, just the way it was before. So it's just a matter of us, we'll torque those down, put the wheel back on, we'll go do the other side. If you've never used a torque wrench before, this is a manual one. You can see that that 0 is dialed down to nothing. I never leave these set to something. All you do is you spin that handle. There's a set screw at the bottom there. You spin that handle. We're going to go to 22, so we're going to wrap it around till the base, this guy right here, is lined up with the 20, and then the 2 is lined up with our center line. I've wrapped it up. You can see the line dips down, and then we've got the 2 matched up to that center line. I'm going to set that screw, and then this thing will go click click once we hit that torque spec. So here we go. We set, and then we're going to just pull up on it. And the trick is to not, you don't want to force it because you can over torque if you do that. So the idea is you just go real slow. As soon as it does that, you're done. You're at your torque spec. Alright, my day's just gone to shit. I should have looked at these brakes a while back. Feel free to mock me. I deserve it. This side was far worse than the right hand side. As soon as I got the pads and everything out of there, the pressure from me pushing the piston in on the other side squirted this guy right out of there. And the reality is, I don't know if you can see that, but I have torn this guy up. This is the piston that's supposed to go inside the caliper, down in there. There's a rubber seal around there to hold the fluid in. And what you can see is I have very obviously, I didn't warp it like I thought I might have. I actually just tore the fucking thing away. And so I've got a new one. I might just order the part because the rest of the caliper is fine. I don't know what this cylinder goes for, but everything else is fine. At the end of the day, these brakes are not getting done, however. I'm not going to put the front end down until I have everything put together. And so this guy's going to sit in my garage like this for the next 5 or 6 weeks until I'm back in town. I've been hoping to bring this guy out of town tomorrow. Don't do like I did. And, you know, I'm going to share this with you guys because even I make mistakes, believe it or not. I'm sorry. I'm really more modest than that, but this guy's, you can tell it's pretty tore up. So I do have all the right brake pads now, and apparently 1,500 miles is a bit too much for brakes on these. And really, when they started squeaking, I should have looked at them. They've been squeaking all season, and I just figured I had a little bit more time. And this is indicative that I did not have any more time. So, other brake issues. My brake pedal on the passenger side for the rear brake sticks. And so, I do have new rotors and pads for that. They blued a little bit. We were going down the highway, not the highway, but the county road. And I didn't realize it stuck. And it did. So just overheated a little bit. I don't know if they need to be replaced or not. I'm probably going to do it anyway. And then I need to figure out why that pedal is sticking. Other than that, I'm going to post this as it is, and I'll post a follow-up when I get the new cylinder and put it all back together. But don't do like I did. This is horrible. I'm genuinely ashamed of myself here. I have no excuse for this. So, and obviously I got brake fluid everywhere. Unfortunately, but it is what it is. Oh well. That'll be the video. I'll post an update sometime in November when I can fix this thing. I might say somebody might have one of these. Probably not, but we'll see. All right, thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, all that other fun stuff, and we'll talk to you soon.